Last time we did Couch Potato Diary, we were saying the season is over for the Calgary Flames. It is time to focus on the future, and it is time to get this thing going into a bit of a rebuild direction. And it's gotten worse since then. It has been a disaster start for the Flames. And it is like a cheesy kid's cartoon where the second you say, well, it can't get worse from here, it does. And in spectacular fashion. So what the hell is going on with the Calgary Flames? Let's try to figure it out. In the Twitch chat, Toxic, because we had said before, a week ago, it felt like the season was over. That they were already going to have to play at a 100-point pace to just get back to the record that they had last year that didn't make the playoffs. So it felt very over. And now, Toxic saying that, yeah, it feels over now. Season is definitely over now. I don't disagree. Like, I don't know where the optimism would come from right now. Aside from, like, the only thing that you can sell me on right now is that, well, they can't play worse. Because I don't know if you could. But from a talent standpoint, from a organizational standpoint, from a schedule, anything, whatever you want to look at, I don't think you can say, well, hey, at least the Flames have blah, 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 or at least this player is the doody-doo. None of that is happening right now. And you look at it, it is last year. It was weird. We didn't understand it, but you at least could sell yourself, even though they don't get the draft pick that they wanted, although they did very well in the draft. But you could sell yourself on this is building a foundation. I did, and I bought it. Building a foundation, establishing that culture, that winning culture, that if we do get the number one center that we need, they are going to be able to just hit the ground running, and we're going to have a team that is going to be able to rocket this into another stratosphere. That feels gone. And it was 82 games to build it, and it feels like 13 have killed it, or wherever they're at right now, games played wise. An entire season basically wasted away in a month. This is, look, I don't think there's any other way to describe it right now. It's pathetic. This has been a pathetic start to the season for the Calgary Flames. Absolutely horrendous, embarrassing, anything you want to put on it. At least last year, they were working hard. But it's lifeless this year. There's no compete. There's no battle. There's some. I do want to say, I've liked Hanzik and that line. And Lomberg has had some of that. And like Kadri and Huberdeau, they have a bit of it. But for the most part, that whole culture thing that they set a season ago, that's done. It's gone. That culture that you want to talk about and you want to brag about and everything like that, that doesn't play like this in the first part of the season. This, not in your, if they were coming out and getting out talented, okay, they're not as talented as most other teams in the NHL, but they're getting outworked and out-talented by Chicago. And Minnesota just kind of played with their food and, okay, well, we got a goal now. That's it. Like, the Flames had 35 shots. The Wild were winning 1-0 with a minute to go in the third period. Did they ever feel like they were in danger right now? No. No, they did not. Not even for 1 second did they feel that. And now, where I get concerned is because of how lifeless and how effortless and just how this team has looked. It's one thing to have young developing players on losing teams. It's another to have young developing players on losing teams that seem like they don't give a shit. And that's where you run into Edmonton needing 8 draft lotteries to finally get it right. Buffalo still not able to get it right despite a ton of high-level talent walking through those doors. That's where you run into the problems. And that's where I get worried about rebuilds when, okay, well, losing becomes okay. The issue is they're not rebuilding and losing still feels like it is okay there right now. Like, just horrendous. And look, I was on Calgary radio this week and I was not this hard on them because, like, you could see, we all talked about it at the beginning of the year. The schedule was hard. They could play perfect hockey for the month of October and win about 3 games. Like, that's how good the schedule was. But now you come out of that, you're not playing great. But get a win in Columbus, maybe get things going in the right direction. Now you have winnable game against Chicago, and if you are who you say you are, winnable game in Minnesota. And so we kind of talked about it. I talked myself into like, yeah, maybe you're not making the playoffs, but let's at least get some momentum going here. Let's at least get some good vibes going, see if we can get anything that works right now. And then they come out and do whatever the fuck that was for 120 minutes between Friday and Sunday night, provide no resistance against the Chicago Blackhawks, no resistance against the Minnesota Wild, and now just look like a rudderless, awful hockey team spinning around in circles, just killing time until hopefully a ping pong ball bounces their way. And that feels like a really bad spot to be in for this team. And I think it's all been mismanaged. And we could talk for days about the mismanagement of the Calgary Flames. But this is where that whole murky middle thing, this is where that gets really, really sketchy to me. Because if you have picked a direction and this is happening, you can pivot off of it. But because the entire game plan of the Flames has been, well, let's wait and see. And hopefully either something great happens or something awful happens, and we end up lucking into it either way. But we're just going to drive right down the middle and just hope that we can reach out and grab a winning lottery ticket at some point on down the line. The problem is, now the players don't know what direction they're going. And you can buy in to working your ass off for 82 games and being the lunch pail team, being the team that goes out and just grinds and battles all day, every day. And we're going to win games by outworking teams because we're going to get to January and these hoity-toity playoff teams, they're not going to want to work this hard, so we're going to win those games. It's one thing to do that for 82 games, but when you have been told the goal is winning, the direction, we want to win hockey games, we believe in this core, that's what we are going to do, then you're supposed to get help for that, right? Like, if that is true, and by the way, I disagree with that direction entirely, but if that is true, that this team isn't going to do the rebuild thing, they believe in this core, whatever, then why have you not signed anyone outside of Anthony Mantha for 2 seasons now? If I'm a player in that locker room, and I'm working hard for the future, I can get that. If I'm a player and I'm working hard to try to win these hockey games, I can get that. But at some point, when you're not helping me with a trade, a move, an anything, a clear path of direction, what the fuck am I working hard for? And that feels like what's happening here, is that this team, for 82 games, just beat the shit out of themselves and just absolutely battled and worked their asses off, and we commended them for it, and they came this close. And the messaging was, no, we're going to try again. Maybe it shouldn't have been, or definitely it shouldn't have been, but we're going to try this again. And then they do nothing to get better in the off season. Then if I'm a player coming in, we got one dude who's definitely not going to be here anymore. We got 2 other guys who might not be here anymore. What am I working hard for? What am I doing all of this? Why am I busting my, aside from the money, which would be the easy counterpoint to it, but why am I going above and beyond every single night to go out there and grind away to hopefully catch lightning in a bottle for a second year in a row, only catch it quicker so we get into the playoffs this time? I feel like this is where really bad messaging and really bad habits and really bad culture really start to build. And I think a lot of it is because of a poor direction right now from this team. AJ Druid, Murray Edwards said he didn't want to rebuild, which is stupid of him. I agree entirely. Like, this is, again, it's not like you have a wickedly talented team underperforming. I can get the Preds wanting to run it back this year because you had so many talented dudes who had bad years. And you could say, okay, it wasn't the gel, it didn't have the chemistry. Let's full off season. Everyone knows each other now. Let's go into it. And now it hasn't gone great again, and everyone's looking to trade them. But I can at least see that. For this team, I don't see, like, there isn't like there's the one guy who's like, well, when he really hits a hot streak, then fine. Like, Huberdeau's doing it. Condrey is doing everything he can. Like, Wolf isn't Superman anymore. So maybe that's it. Maybe you're hoping that he gets back to being one of the best goalies in the world. But he seems pretty pissed at how things are going right now. So that you cannot convincingly tell me that there is something coming that is going to boost this team into being a playoff contender. And I am not and have never been a trade everything not batten down with this group. Kadri, though, it makes so much sense to make that move because of how desperate so many teams are for a second-line center and how few teams are actually tearing down at this moment. That feels like a spot where you could take advantage of it. Rasmus Andersson, it shouldn't still be happening. That this is something that should have been taken care of. And now I think you are seeing one of the real repercussions of it. The Kadri part to a certain degree, but like you are having this season, Sharon Govich, who you didn't sign to be your fourth line center, playing fourth line center. Connor Zary, playing fourth line center. He shouldn't be your fourth line center. Now, neither of these guys should be your first line center either, but if you didn't have a Kadri there, now that part gets a little bit easier. Now we have one more opening for one of these young kids to get into. I respect Kadri and the value he brings to the Flames organization, but there is so many good reasons why Calgary should try to get as much as they can for him and do that immediately. And the Rasmus Andersson thing, Zane Parekh, now it works out now because he's hurt and they can send him down to the AHL on a conditioning loan. So it's just going to be like Beer Fest where they pop that guy in the eye every 2 weeks. He has the black eye to motivate him for the whatever that was. I forget the rest of the plot, but they're just going to just keep, oh, hey, Zane, how you doing? Boom, pat on the back. Oh, ribs out of place, another week on loan. But they're already having trouble putting him into the lineup. Kuznetsov comes in, plays solid, doesn't play the next game. They're already having trouble fitting in the players that they have. If only there was a right spot that could just free up and bring in some good assets as well. So the hesitancy from this team to make the moves they absolutely should have made is now getting in the way of the development of some of their young players now. Like this is a disaster. And if you are believing the reports that are out there that it is it's not going to get better because they don't want to, they believe in the core. They don't want to do the rebuild, this, that, and the other thing. Like, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. It's bad, man. It's really, really bad. Like it is. I know I'm not breaking any news to Flames fans. I don't think any Calgary Flames player or fan is out there being like, no, man, we can still, that's not it. But I just, it is so worse than I thought it could get this quickly into the season. In the chat over on Twitch, we have AJ Druid here. I believe they're waiting for Pospisil to come back. And he is week to week. Yeah, like him coming back, he does provide that spark. He does provide that energy and can kind of help some things out a little bit. And maybe that is what we're talking about with like Kadri. Like trade him away. Okay, well, Pospisil can come in and fill a spot or something like that. But you don't have to rush to trade Kadri. Like you don't send out to the GM WhatsApp group, hey, Kadri available, send me your best options tonight and we'll pick one. You can wait for the best trade to come up. You don't trade him for a second. Like wait for that good move to happen, but be looking for that good move instead of, oh no, we like this core. Whatever, everything is fine. Montreal needs a second line center and a right defenseman. Oh yes. Yeah, that is one that a lot of people have noted. I still personally, I think the Crosby thing would do great, although, Pittsburgh's playing pretty well to start this season, but I don't know how long that's going to keep up. But they do. Toronto does. Winnipeg does. Dallas, maybe. Dallas more the right defenseman part than Nazem Kadri, although they could just try to load it up. Colorado, like the places he's been before, Colorado needs one. A lot of teams right now actually need a second line center, and most always need a right shot defenseman. Even like if you want to be like a young team, like a Utah, having a Kadri there to help guide your young players, perfect. And while they have some talent on the right side, Rasmus Andersson would be their number one right shot defenseman tomorrow if they made that move. And they have pieces to move as well. Vegas is always involved in these conversations. So there's a lot of suitors out there for the Flames. It is just a matter of will they take advantage of this situation. And everything that we have seen, everything that they have said leads us to believe that they won't. And that is incredibly frustrating for Calgary Flames fans. For sure. So, let me know what you think in the chat. Am I wrong? Like, if you are watching this and you are like, Peter, longtime Calgary radio guy, I disagree with you. Please enlighten me. Tell me where the good is with this right now. The top prospect's hurt. The goalie's pissed. The goalie of the future is pissed. And none of the young players, aside from Hanzik and some Coronado flashes, are playing in the way that you would want them to play right now. It is bad with the Flames at this particular time. But if I'm overreacting, let me know in the chat or in the comments here after the fact, because I would love to be wrong, because I got to sit through another 65 of these, and I don't think it's going to get a whole lot better. For more uplifting messages like that, follow me on social media. I am at Primetime Klein on Instagram, X, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. Again, trying to be more active on there. Gonna put some more clips out and everything like that, so you can stay up to date with everything that is happening with Couch Potato Diary. Dude, toxic. I said that this week going into 960 because we had talked about it on here. Anna asked a question about the Flames. I was like, dude, I have no idea. I am not watching that thing right now at all. So Saturday, the Blue Jays Game 7 World Series, devastating. Sunday, still relatively devastated, but I knew I was supposed to host on 960 from Tuesday to Friday. Sunday, had the boys over from football. Misery loves company. We had a good time, had some laughs, whatever. I end up eating my feelings too much. I don't feel very good on Monday, Tuesday, so I don't go in. And I spent, after the football on Sunday, up to being live on the air at 1 o'clock on Wednesday, I binge watched the season for the Flames. And to go from the passion, the excitement, the drama of one of the best World Series of all time to the lifeless blech that the Calgary Flames have become was probably, aside from going out and like watching rec basketball, was probably as dramatic of a shift as you can get in watching sports. And like trying to cover this and trying to care was so difficult when it's obvious they don't. How can I? Especially after seeing what the passion is and what that can be. Oh, it was hard. Oh, it was so hard. Toxic. It was. I was gonna say you have no idea, but you have every idea. Yes, at least I have the ride. Rider's only once a week though. Like I don't get to watch it every. Like Blue Jays, it was every day. The Raptors are fun. I don't know. Like I wouldn't describe them as the high effort team or anything, but the Raptors are fun at least. But like, holy goddamn, man, it's bad. It's so bad, and was such a like I have my trivia prepped for a month because I was watching the Flames and I was just like, oh yeah, that's going on. Hey, I wonder about these geography. Okay. Hey, look at that bad turnover goal, poor D zone coverage. All right, next thing. Here we go. All right, back to that. Like it's a tough hang. The Flames are a tough hang right now. Hopefully that part gets better. Like hopefully you get the kids stepping up. Hopefully you get that energy back or whatever. Even if it's not going to matter season-wise, which I don't think it does. At least give us something to get excited about. But they haven't been able to do that so far here this season.